Hi, I'm Allison, and I'm an advisory librarian at the Skokie Public Library. Thank you for joining us for another chapter of Book Chat, wherein Becca and myself welcome two staff from the library to talk about books that we're loving right now. We're so excited to have a very special episode featuring our young adult staff. All the books we're talking about today are young adult or young adult crossover, and we're going to get started. Let's send it over to Rachel.
Hi, I'm Rachel, and I am a young adult librarian. I was just doing a little bit of last-minute fact-checking so that I could talk to you about Bitter Root by all-Black creative team David Walker, Chuck Brown, and Sanford Greene. As with so many industries, comics tends to be a pretty white world, and I love this team. I love previous work that they've all done, and I'm excited that they had this chance to work together. This book is on the Niles North Summer Reading List, and it's also available on Hoopla, so you can download it and read it right now. It's set in the 1920s during the Harlem Renaissance, and Bitter Root takes place mostly in New York with a few scenes set in Mississippi. It's a world where hate literally transforms people into monsters. The Sangaris, a Black, legendary, monster-hunting family, have a root-based medicine for intolerance and fear that turns monsters back into people. If only it were that easy. But society just keeps creating more people willing to act on their racism, and the fight is taking a toll on the family. The main characters in this family are amazing. Ma Etta is a woman in her 80s, and her superpowers are not just her wisdom. She kicks butt, and it's super exciting to see an older woman portrayed as a hero. There's also, she is a young woman, and she pushes hard against gender norms. She would rather be out fighting monsters, which is a job that she is seriously good at, than in the kitchen preparing the medicine. And there are lots of other characters, but my other favorite character is Berg. He's calm and collected, and he has a love of language that makes my heart sing. I just really enjoy reading through his panels in a way that comics, being a visual medium, I don't always completely just sit there and enjoy the words. Comics do often contain pretty sophisticated vocabulary that you can understand in context, but he's using words like lugubrious and phrases like, you have a predilection for pretermitting that which is most pertinent. And I had to go and look some of those words up. So if you enjoy monster fighting, kick butt, Black heroes, I would highly, highly recommend Bitter Root. And I'm gonna pass the baton, the Zoom spotlight over to Laurel.
Thanks, Rachel. Hi, everybody. I am Laurel, and I'm Young Adult Services Supervisor at the library. And I am really excited to talk to you today about Black Enough, Stories of Being Young and Black in America. I have just gotten started reading this book, and I'm already loving it so much. It's a YA anthology of short stories. And I love short stories because life is really busy, and I get a big sense of accomplishment of just sitting down and reading a whole narrative in one awesome piece. The book is edited by Ibi Zoboi, who you may have heard of. She is the author of American Street, which is a really well-received YA novel from the past couple years. And some of my favorite novelists are writing short stories for this book. Jason Reynolds, who is incredible and amazing and wrote The Long Way Down and the Track series. Renee Watson, who wrote Piecing Me Together, has a piece in this. Kekla Magoon has a story in this anthology. And the thing that really speaks to me about this anthology, well, I loved the title right away. I'm like, Black Enough, yes. And I love the beautiful images on the front. I think this is a book I would have absolutely loved to have as a teenager, because I feel like for a really long time, there really weren't enough nuanced representations of Black teenagers out in the world on TV or in novels. A lot of the you know, books that featured Black teens until honestly kind of recently were issue books that had to do with really serious oppression. And there's so much more to being Black than being oppressed. And there's so much more to being Black than being that part, like being fitting within a box or a narrative about what Blackness is. So for example, I'm a biracial Black person, and my dad is an immigrant. I'm Afro-Honduran. These are all things that made me feel like I wasn't Black enough when I was a teenager, and I would have absolutely loved this book. I feel like this is great for anybody who feels like they don't necessarily fit in the like prominent media narratives about what Blackness is for teenagers. And I think that Ibi Zoboi says it really well in her introduction to this when she says that the teens in Black Enough are whole, complete, and nuanced. She wants this book to help teens feel like they can be their free, uninhibited selves without the constraints of being Black, too Black, or not Black enough, that you can just simply be as you are, and I love it. There's a lot of contemporary realistic fiction short story pieces in here, but there's even a little bit of fantasy, and it's awesome. We have it in a bunch of different formats. So we have hard copies, we have, it's available as an ebook on Overdrive Libby, and the audio is available on Hoopla as well. So it's awesome, and I hope you read it and enjoy it.
Hi everyone, I'm back, and I am going to talk to you about a book I just finished called Clap When You Land by Elizabeth Acevedo. It's about two sisters whose father dies in a plane crash. But the thing is, the sisters don't know about each other. This is told in verse in alternating perspectives from each sister. The novel navigates grief, love, secrets, and forgiveness. If you're interested in trying audiobooks, this is a really good one to start with. Not only is Acevedo an award-winning and New York Times best-selling author, she is also a National Poetry Slam champion. She narrates the part of Yara, the sister from New York City, and Camino, the sister from the Dominican Republic, is voiced by Melanie Luisa Marta, who is also an accomplished poetry slam artist. The story is beautiful and powerful, and the audio narration only enhances just how good this novel is. Also, it's only 5.5 hours, so it's not a huge time commitment. I'm so excited to listen to Acevedo's first novel, The Poet X, for Lit Lounge's September meeting. So thank you so much. I'm going to send it on. Oh, and that's available on Overdrive and Libby. So with that, over to Becca.
Thank you, Allison. I am Becca. I'm the supervisor of advisory services at Skokie. I'm so excited to read that book, Allison. I loved The Poet X so much, and I will definitely be doing the audiobook because I cannot imagine listening to an Acevedo book that she does not read herself, because her voice is just, both her writing voice and her actual voice are so amazing that I want to hear her reading her words. So thank you for sharing that with us. The book that I'm talking about today is Slay by Brittney Morris. This is a contemporary YA novel. It is the story of Kira. She is one of the only Black students in a predominantly white high school. She is a gamer, but she has never really felt safe in online gaming spaces. So she is like just super hardcore, and she creates her own. And it is exclusively for Black gamers. You have to have an invitation to get in, and it's made so that it creates a safe space for people to come and game and be themselves and like just totally embrace everything that makes them. It's like everyone there, you're Black enough, which made me think of Laurel's book. And unfortunately, two young men get into a confrontation, and one of them ends up dying in the real world over the game. So everyone who plays this game gets labeled as thugs, and Kira hasn't told anyone that she's the creator. She plays under a pseudonym, and so she has to kind of struggle with, is she going to come out and talk about her experience and why she created this space and like who she is and let everyone know who she is, Or is she going to kind of stay back and not bring the spotlight on her so she can finish her time in high school and move forward? It has like a thriller aspect to it, which is really fun and interesting, but it's definitely a reflection of like the greater world and safe spaces and how you fit within those spaces. And it's just like a really fun, fast-paced story. I'm not much of a gamer myself, so I don't feel like you have to be to love this story. But I highly recommend it. It's available both on Libby Overdrive in audio and in print, and that is Slay by Brittney Morris. So thank you guys so much. First of all, thank you to Allison, of course, and to Laurel and Rachel for joining us on this very special YA episode of Book Chat. We're so glad that you could be here with us. And thank you all for watching us. We really appreciate your time. We know that there's lots of content out there, so we're glad that you spend a few minutes with us every couple of weeks. You can find all of the links to the titles that we've discussed below. If you need help with access to these titles, or the thousands of other titles that we have available digitally through the library, please give us an email or a chat or even a phone call now, and we are happy to walk you through downloading your first book. So we would love to help you with that. You could also email us at matchmanagers@skokielibrary.info. We miss you. We can't wait till we're all back together again safely. Until then, happy reading.